I have a fascination with underwater horror, and I also have a fascination with the possibility of underwater cryptids, sea creatures, lake monsters, stuff in that vein. And so I was pretty excited to read the book A Misfortune of Lake Monsters by Nicole Wolverton. It is a gripping book. It's scary, it's sweet. So this book follows the story of Lemon Ziegler and her family. She lives with her grandparents. Her parents had passed away. They were in a car accident. And so it has fallen on her, she is 17, to become Old Lucy, which is the lake monster that supposedly lives in the lake of the town where she has grown up. Because of this lake monster, the family has kept this like illusion alive that there's a monster in the lake. So it brings in a lot of tourism money and it keeps the town from falling into, poverty and ruin. So they keep this going and they don't tell anyone. It's been kept in the family for years and years and years. Starts out Lemon's in the water and she's imitating the sea monster in the sea monster suit. She does her thing, goes to school, and people are talking about the monster. So that's all. Like every once in a while, she's supposed to go out there in the suit, drum up some, word of mouth, people gossiping about the monster, and it draws in tourism to the town and keeps the town afloat because everything in town is basically like lake monster themed. Oh, Lucy. And so one day they're all in school and an earthquake happens. After this earthquake happens, there seems that now there is an actual monster in the lake. It's hungry and it's gonna eat things, animals, people. It doesn't differentiate. Fish, frogs, whatever. It's hungry and it needs to eat. And so Lemon discovers this one day. And if you don't want any spoilers, I'll put a timestamp for you to fast forward to. I'm going to do a tiny spoiler. Obviously, the little synopsis kind of forewarns you that this monster is hungry. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about for a brief second. So, how Lemon finds out. Lemon is out walking her dogs. She has 3 dogs to walk. A flippin' monster, a sea monster, comes out of the water. All of a sudden, her dog isn't there, and there's blood all over her and everywhere. And she runs home, freaking out, and she gets there to tell her grandparents, and her grandparents like refuse to believe her, or her grandfather does. He is a surly old man and he's kind of horrible. And he's like the generation of doesn't know how to show his feelings and just seems like an angry jackhole. So we got that going on. So he doesn't believe her. A lot of people probably would have a hard time believing that there is a giant dinosaur-like sea creature in the lake because, they've grown up there all their lives and they've never seen anything like that. La 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 la. You can't just assume that they're making this up. And especially knowing the relationship between Lemon and her grandparents, like she wasn't one to just make crap up. They should have been like, well, I wonder what the heck you saw. And he was all like, oh, it was probably a mangy bear. Yeah, a mangy bear in the water, swimming and just swallowing a dog whole. Sure. Sure there, bud. Whatever. And so she's got all this on her shoulders. No one freaking believes her. So she has these 2 friends, Troy and Darren, and she has to decide if she trusts them enough to let them in on her secret and see if they can help her because she doesn't know what the heck is going to happen. And then people start disappearing and then bodies start being found and it's like, how are they going to get rid of this thing? What the heck are they supposed to do? This is a delightful book. I really loved it. I love books like this. I love, love, love underwater horror. I'm a huge, huge underwater horror fan. Nicole Wolverton hit this one out of the park. It is a young adult, so it's not like super, super graphic, but it's still like, the monster is eating people. But it also has a really cute like romance in it too. So it's, I wouldn't call it, it's definitely not cozy. So it's got some super cute elements to it with like the romance that's in here while they're just trying to frickin' survive. So I guess it's kind of a horror romance. I'm dying to say it. It's a homance. I still don't know how people feel about that word. It makes me laugh every time I say it, homance, for a horror romance. I thought it was cute. I really liked it. It's an addictive read. I love the characters. I loved what the lake monster was, the way that they ended up being able to take care of it and what happened. And it's just a fun horror book. And if you like underwater horror, if you like horror romance, it is a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. So if you are a fan of underwater horror, the next video coming up will be about another underwater horror. So stick around, check it out. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.